Just remember it was Karen Spiegel's idea.
Wait.
And I would disagree that RCTC shouldn't pick up the cost, because we're still talking about the overhead cost of everything that's involved. Because then if we're going to need staff to go in and figure out all the stuff.
You're talking about the full cost of 2 motors for 2 years?
Yes. Well, until the project's done. So
that was never even going in, never even part of the conversation. So I'd have a hard time with us asking that.
okay, I'll have people's direct emails to you when they feel that they're not being taken care of, because we're already spending a great amount of time out there. Our officers are already out there.
Option 2.
We have. Hang on a second.
Option 2 was
let me finish.
officer for CHP.
Listen, I have the floor.
Okay, you're right. Sorry.
We're talking about 2 motor officers. We're not talking about the commercial officer who's also dealing with it. We're not talking about patrol officers who are also dealing with the traffic. We're not talking about fire trucks that are not able to get to accidents. If we want to take all that in total, sure, maybe we pay half the motors, but we get compensated for the other stuff too. I don't have a problem. But our total cost to this city is more than that $200,000 and $300,000 and $400,000. I can guarantee you that. If you go to Nelson's department and see how many times Dennis is there early to work on the traffic management system or works late, if you go through all of our staff that are out there dealing with this, this is a drop in the bucket. So if they don't want to pay for it, then let's add up everything else. I don't have a problem.
The problem I have is on the presentation we just saw, it was option 2 was 20 hours a week with California Highway Patrol. And that was what the comparison was 20 hours a week. And they wanted to have our own employees, and then you can't ask an officer to work only 20 hours a week, so they wanted full time. Did I understand that correctly?
It's 2 CHP officers, 20 hours a week for a total of 40 hours, or 2 full-time police officers, yes, 40 hours a week, so 80 hours a week if we hired our own. Is that clear enough for you?
Yes. But what I'm saying is when you said that, you wouldn't hire an officer for only 20 hours.
Correct.
You would utilize their time other places to make it the 40 hours.
Other places being, the afternoon commute, the schools, the other traffic concerns that come up. Correct.
So why was the presentation not 40 hours highway patrol per week per officer versus ours only 40 hours?
No, your point's well made. The focus area is in those critical hours in the mornings, and that's what the presentation presented was 40 hours of enforcement directly related to this project. But there's also the thought too, the project certainly has carryover outside of those hours, and for value, when you look at the 2 values, it made more sense to go with option 1, which is the full-time officers. But yes, the option 2 did clearly indicate 40 hours for just specific CHP use at that $219,000 a year, correct?
Thank you.
Okay. So I think you have direction, Darrell, and we can kind of go on.